Hello grade 6 students and welcome to this lesson of module 3, Top Time 2. To be able to follow me in this lesson, please bring your students' books and have them opened on page 41, your workbooks and have them opened on page 33, and don't forget to bring a pen and a blank sheet of paper to take notes. As usual, you need to know why you're watching this video. In other words, you need to know the learning objectives of this lesson. Well, there are two learning objectives. Number 1, learn 3 new words. Number 2, locate details to classify 5 pieces of information in a reading text. Are you ready? So, let's get started with the following question. Have you ever been on a road trip? A road trip is a long trip taken by car. So, back again to the question, have you ever been on a road trip? Whatever you did or not, I think you have tried traveling or commuting by car before. And this will lead us to the next question. What does this sign mean? Excellent. It means fasten your seat belt. Seat belt. Do you think that all passengers here have fastened their seat belts? I think yes. Now it's time to answer another question. In which country is this photo taken? Good job. It's in the UK. Do you know that some people may get confused when they visit the UK for the first time? Do you know why? Yes, because drivers drive on the left-hand side of the road. Now it's time to go to the workbook, page 33, to do exercise 1. Exercise 1. Read and complete, then match. There are 3 words that we need to use to fill in the gaps of 3 sentences correctly. The words are road trip, confusing, and seatbelt. Yes, they are the words we have just learned. Let's do number 1 together. You should always put your space on when you get into the car. Good job. It's seat belt. So the answer is seat belt. Now pause the video till you finish the remaining items. Back again, let's check number 2. My family and I are going to go on a road trip across Europe this summer. Number 3, this math problem is confusing. Can you help me solve it, please? After we've finished completing the sentences, it's time to match the pictures to the sentences. Let's start with picture A. Which sentence represents this picture? Thank you. It's picture number 2. Picture B. Sentence number 1. Well done. Picture C is sentence number 3, which is confusing. Let's move on. Kindly go to your students' books, page 41, because we're going to work on this text to do exercise 3. Before we go to the exercise, let's have a look at this text, especially at the titles, and read them together. The main title is driving around. That means it's gonna be about driving, cars, or the traffic in general. Next title or subtitle is Qatar, and the last one is the United Kingdom, the UK. So I guess the text is going to be driving in both Qatar and the UK. Let's go to the exercise and see what we should do. Exercise 3. Read and put a tick in the column for Qatar, the UK, or in both. So, here we have 5 pieces of information. For each one, we're going to search the texts to see, is this piece of information mentioned in the text of Qatar, or in the text of the UK, or in both texts? Let's have number 1 as an example and model to follow. Drivers drive on the left-hand side of the road. So we need to search the text to answer this. But before we search, we have to find a keyword or keywords to search for. The left-hand side here is the key part that we have to find in the text. If we go to the text, we'll find in the text of the UK this yellow part. The British drive on the left-hand side of the road, and this can be very confusing. So we put a tick in the UK column. Now pause the video till you finish the remaining items on your own. Back again to check. Number 2. Drivers should wear seat belts. So the keywords or the key part should wear seat belts. We find them in this text of Qatar. They always wear the seat belts too. Also, we find it in the text of the UK. You must always wear your seat belt. So for this piece of information, we put 2 ticks, one for Qatar and one for the UK. Number 3, you shouldn't drive too fast or too slowly. When we go to the text, we'll find in the text of the United Kingdom this part. Drivers get into trouble for driving too fast, but they can also get into trouble for driving very slowly. So we put a tick in the UK column for this piece of information. Number 4. There is a lot of traffic. We go to the text. We find in the text of Qatar this part. There is usually a lot of traffic on the street in the city, but there are also many things to see. So we put a tick in the Qatar column. Let's move on to check the last one, number 5. Number 5. Drivers never talk on their mobile phones. Let's go to the text to see. In the text of Qatar, we find in this part, drivers shouldn't use a mobile phone while driving. So they never talk on their mobile phones. So we put a tick in Qatar column. And now the question is, what have we learned from this exercise? We learned that when we visit the UK, we should know the following pieces of information. Number 1, drivers drive on the left-hand side of the road. Number 2, you should always fasten the seat belt. Number 3, you shouldn't drive too fast or too slowly. And in Qatar, you need to know 3 pieces of information. Number 1, there is a lot of traffic. Number 2, you should always fasten the seatbelt. And the last one, you shouldn't talk on your mobile phone. At the end of this lesson, I hope you have enjoyed learning with us. See you next time.